Bama. Bama's coming in. You talk about wins that have been tarnished. So they've got one against Texas. Didn't lose to the worst team in the world. We're not comparing Texas Tech to Middle Tennessee by any stretch in an overtime game versus getting curb stomped by 2 or 3 touchdowns. So difference there. So no knock on Texas Tech, but maybe Texas isn't quite as good as what they showed against Bama. But Bama's Bama, and here they come after a 52-point win against Vandy. But, like we talked about, and people are talking about this across the SEC, across the country, even with the Texas A&M loss, that this was, one of those 2 or 3 games that if Bama was going to trip up, this might be the one.
Yeah. I've had a hard time. I've had a hard time buying into that because, as I've reminded my audience so often, the last time Arkansas beat Bama was the year I got married, which is 2006. And since then, Arkansas has not beaten them clearly. And listen, they've done that to a lot of teams, but they have lost to the Aggies. They have lost to Ole Miss. Over those years, they've lost to some teams when you thought, well, maybe Arkansas is better than those teams that Alabama was losing to. And A&M last year is a great example of that. Arkansas was better than A&M a year ago. Clearly, they beat them head to head. But, I think the great equalizer here is Fayetteville. And that's where a lot of people, they've got them at home. They played them so well on the road a year ago, which is true. I mean, they lost that game just by 7 points a year ago at Alabama. But Alabama has seen this type of environment and then some. Like, they're not going to be shell-shocked in Fayetteville. But Fayetteville is loud. I think it's one of the most underrated crowds. And I only say that because I've had the opportunity to talk to people who have been to other stadiums who say the same thing. 2 former Alabama Crimson Tide quarterbacks have confirmed that Fayetteville is one of the most hostile places they've ever played in. And there's going to be a lot of people there. It's despite that loss, unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be as wild as what it could have been with dropping the A&M game, but it's going to be crazy. I'd guess 73,000. It's going to be wild, and Arkansas fans at 50,000 are loud. 72 plus is going to be crazy. It's going to be insane. I could be wrong. They might even break the attendance record. I don't know, but doubtful after what happened last week. But that is the great equalizer here, I think, for a lot of fans. I'm not saying that is the case, but fans certainly see it that way as well. It's at home. We played them good last year on the road. Arkansas still looks like a great rushing attack like what they had a year ago. They finished in the top 10. Right now they're 10th in the country in rushing yards per game. So there's some positives here to look at this game, when you see the matchup. But then again, Alabama on defense, they're good against the run. They're good against the pass. They're kind of getting it done in a lot of different ways. So, yeah, it's I feel like I say this every week. It's going to be it will be a fascinating matchup. But right now on Monday, the 26th, I'm not putting all my eggs in that basket of this being an upset yet. I need to watch some more film, watch some more game, and look at some more numbers. But I think it will be a loud, crazy environment.